Avoka Transact is built with enterprise-class integration capabilities in mind. In order to best understand these capabilities, it's useful to walk through a typical client interaction with Avoka Transact and understand where each integration point occurs. In general, forms are available to either anonymous users or authenticated users, or either. Anonymous access is often simpler and quicker for clients, but there are some advantages of authentication, such as the ability to pre-fill forms with known information and restricting access to private forms. If authentication is required, then Manager can either use its own built-in secure authentication scheme, which includes the option of self-registration, or it can integrate with your existing LDAP, Active Directory, or other sources of user information and authentication. We can also create a seamless automatic login by using single sign-on technologies to link the Transact portal to your existing website. Next, the user will click on a link to open the smart form itself. At this point, we have the option to pre-populate the form with data, often using customer information we already know about the user. This will make it easier and quicker for them to complete the form. We can obtain this data from user profile information that can be maintained directly by users in the portal, or we can obtain it by retrieving this data directly or indirectly from your internal systems. Then, the pre-populated form will be presented to the user. In general, we try to make the smart form itself as self-contained as possible and embed the business rules into the form. This is particularly useful so that the form can be completed when offline. However, during the process of completing the form, it may be necessary to perform calls back to your systems for various reasons. For example, you may need to retrieve product information, perform a server-side pricing calculation, or validate your customer's address. All of these interactions can be performed by invoking Transaction Manager Dynamic Data Services. These can be built very easily using a simple but secure REST-based service, which is then easily integrated with your internal systems. Once the user has completed the form, they submit it, along with any required attachments, payments, or other required information. Then Transaction Manager delivers the submission information to some sort of internal business process. This can be as simple as an email containing the data being sent, a set of files being dropped into a directory or content management system, or arbitrarily complex integrations involving third-party systems such as a CRM, ERP, BPM, or call center system, or bespoke systems, or an enterprise service bus. The fulfillment of the transaction could be completely automated as a straight-through process, or it could be performed by your organization's staff. In either case, the status of the transaction can be updated in the portal so that end users have visibility into the progress of the transaction. This leads to happier customers and reduces calls to the call center. At the configuration level, your business users simply select from one of the integration points pre-configured for their organization. Extension points can be implemented using a variety of different services, including coding, scripting, web service integration, process invocation, and more. We hope this has been a good overview of some of the integration capabilities of Avoka Transact. Please check out our other feature videos for more details.